Hi guys, I'm very drawn to do a pick a pile reading. My intention for this is that it finds people who need it. So I don't know if this is so much that it's intended for my subscribers as like if this pops up, I'm not going to tag this video anything. So if you come across this and it pops up in your feed but you're not a subscriber already, I'm really putting the energy in that it might, it's going to find the people it's meant to find at the time it's meant to find them. So obviously if you're a subscriber there could be something here, but especially if you come across it just for no reason, I'm very cool to do it. It's going to be a pick a pile reading. This is going to be group 1, group 2, group 3. It will be time stamped below. I'm going to connect in now to the energies, asking for Archangel Michael to put me in a bubble of love, light and protection. My gatekeeper guide, connecting me into my higher self, my team of light, my angels, ancestors and guides, but barring any dense or negative energies from affecting me or entering this reading space. Ancestors of blood, ancestors of spirit, you are honored here, all are mourned, all are remembered. I call my beloved dead to this gateway, only those that wish me well may enter. My angels, ancestors and guides, connecting me in, please. Channeling clear messages for my highest good, all chances, changes, possibilities, probabilities, and sorting people into 3 distinct groups. Let this reading reach the people who are meant to hear it at the time they are meant to hear it. That is my intention. Closing down the energies, restoring the auric fields, and wrapping us in universal love, light, and protection at the end of the reading. I had a very weird dream last night that, I don't know, maybe it's a message for some people just to pay attention to their dreams before we connect in. It had lots of chariot energies in it, which is to do with being pulled in different directions. So there could be some kind of collective energy of that going on. But let's get on with this reading. I don't know why I shared that at that moment, but there we go. This is going to be group 1, people. There could be something to do with self-expression for this group of people. There could be a need for calm, for introspection. They could be poets, artists, musicians, that sort of thing, with this crystal being something that appeals to you. Blues could be very good to have around you at this time if you feel like you need to do something where you are publicly speaking or creating something, communicating in some way. It could be very helpful. Broken heart is coming up as well, so there could be some emotional pain that you're still carrying in the body. Maybe this is something you transmute. Maybe this is something you use to self-express so that you can heal yourself but also touch others. I'm getting also the 2nd sacral chakra being important, so there's a need for you to actually really ground. There could be issues with colds, with the kidneys, with the spleen. Not for everyone, obviously. That will be something you know. But this is all to do with creativity and life force, as well as sexual energies. So you could be storing sexual energy from past lovers within that chakra. You may want to do a kind of release and cleanse of that chakra to release that. Actually, I have a grounding meditation on my Etsy. There's a link below to my Etsy for personal readings and stuff. But that actually works on releasing those energies. So if you've already got that, listen to that. If not, maybe it's something you want to do, or look up some kind of sacral chakra release ritual or meditation you can do. Let's get into the cards now. I'm hearing I am strong. So I think you guys may need to be reminded of your divinity, of your strength. Maybe you've been through a very difficult time and it's about believing in yourself again. The Fool. Yeah, so the Queen of Cups is very much to do with the heart chakra. She's very intuitive. She is the artist, the poet, the intuitive, the empathic, nurse, artist, healer, anyone like that. And she's coming out. So there is definitely a need to kind of connect to that empathic energy within yourself. I might just put this. Let's get that there. That's much better. Okay, so there's a need to connect maybe to that empathic energy within yourself. Connect to the water elements as well. Go into the depths of your emotions. This is how you can kind of have some kind of new beginning, but you may have some fears around taking a leap of faith in something in your life. You may also feel like you've been through a really difficult time and you have taken some kind of leap of faith, maybe around creativity or something like that. And now you're feeling like you're hanging on and you're like, is this the right thing? There's a fear in taking that leap of faith, but I do think you'll find everything you need within yourself. She pulls out a fish from this cup. It's like reminding me of Mary Poppins' bag, where, you know, she's pulling out everything she could possibly ever need. It's like there are untapped resources within yourself. There is no finite amount of energy within yourself that you can call on. And also, I do think you might be getting some kind of support from somebody else. Finances may be an issue. You may feel like you're too reliant on an external thing for your financial security. This can be a card of paying it forward. I do think kind of trying to see money as a flow of energy, although it can be difficult when it's a scarcity thing where you don't have it. But if you can get into that energy of seeing it as a flow of abundance, you're opening yourself up to receiving it energetically. And actually, I'm very guided now to share a message I was going to share just as a general video on this channel, but it applies a lot to artists, okay? And this is kind of coming through artists or poets or anyone who does something creative or with their emotions. Your energy, and I mean everyone's energy and time, is worth more than money. But I feel especially artists, they have a hard time like saying how much their work is worth, and they try to kind of sometimes justify it with the hours put in. But you need to think about investing your time and energy as you would investing your money. Money is actually, if you think about what money is without what society has put on it, it's just pieces of paper that get printed every day en masse. It's very, very common. It's just nothing really. It's just, there's so much of it in the world, right? It's just the systems we live by and the limiting beliefs we have that make it into this thing that is hard to come by. So you might want to tell yourself money is always flowing to me. There is plenty of abundance in the world, things like that. But also knowing that what you're doing, if you are someone who's creative, if you are someone who's doing something empathic to help people, your energy and time is worth more than financial, just money. It's like a connection to the higher self. It's a connection to universal consciousness. I believe all artists, mystics, poets, anything like that, you're drawing down energies from the collective. You have a channel to the divine, and that is worth so much more than these little bits of paper. So don't let anyone devalue your services as an artist, as a healer. You know, there's this weird expectation that people who do something spiritual should be giving something back for free always. Obviously, I do this channel and I'm happy to energetically give back, and because I feel that helps to receive. But also, you shouldn't be expected to. Do you see what I mean? It's like your time and energy is valuable, and for artists as well. So I think there's just a message of remembering that I'm getting to share with you guys, because there is this like almost fearful reliance on other people giving money. But remember, you have this untapped well of resources within yourself. You have a connection to the divine. You can draw down on those energies, and whenever you need it, you will be able to pull it out of the bag, okay? So just have that self-belief. What else? Group 1. Especially as we go into what is probably going to be a recession, okay? There may be a need for you to save some money, to save your emotional resources as well, to have boundaries so that you're thinking, okay, how am I investing my time and energy? The 7 of Pentacles is literally a card of investing your time, your energy, or your money. So either creating a savings account or thinking about how you're investing your intentions in terms of manifestation, the seeds you're planting and how they're going to grow. Make sure that you're squirreling away and planting the seeds that are serving you. And be very careful with your energy, because you do have this infinite resource, but at the same time you have a finite amount of time that you can give that energy away. So, you know, just know your value, I feel, for this group. And don't be too concerned about money. You are going to be able to create stability. For some of you, there may be a masculine energy. It's not gender specific, but a masculine energy who comes in and can offer you some kind of assistance. either guidance or support, or it's just that you meet some kind of counterpart here. And that's really interesting because it's someone who's going to maybe help you in terms of your career, or somehow they're linked into your soul mission. If you're a spiritual person, they could be your counterpart in terms of your soul mission. If you're an artist, they could be a counterpart in terms of your career, in terms of helping you. They're not the same suit, so they're different from you, but nonetheless, it's a king and queen, and it's not gender specific. It's just these leaders. But this person can offer you stability, for sure. They offer you something tangible. They could be a very grounding element in your life that is very nurturing, but there is a sense of an equal give and take. Now, whether or not this is love or just an equal give and take in terms of the energy you're giving and receiving, it's in balance, which is really good. And again, protect your energy at this time. Put up some energetic boundaries, but also have psychological boundaries on how much time and energy you're going to invest in things. And people who don't value your time and energy, don't even bother with it, you know? Know your value, know your worth, get into your creative energy. For some of you, there's a need to balance your, because I like my throat chakra closed up, your intuition and your creativity, or there's a bit of conflict between sides of yourself that are emotional and more passionate. So there may be a need to get those in balance with this Two of Cups. For some of you, there could be a third person, but I don't think so, because then we have the King of Cups and the King of Pentacles. So again, we have two kings, two queens, but they're different suits. And what I was saying about the suits is that it's the different aspects. So again, it's like emotional and creative, emotional and grounded. So I think it's more about the sides of yourself, because sometimes, you know, multiple signifiers are people, and sometimes it's just aspects of self. We all have masculine and feminine energies, even if we don't see ourselves as aligned to any kind of gender. We all have these yin yang energies, and we all have a balance of emotional, intellectual, financial, creative, you know, all of the suits. And this is about getting them all in balance for yourself. Okay. But I do think for some of you, because I got the heartbreak message, that through your creativity or your work or your soul mission, you meet someone that will maybe be like your business partner, or it doesn't have to be that extreme, but someone who helps in some way with what you're doing career-wise. Any other message for group 1, people, please, Spirit? Yeah, 10 of Cups. I definitely think you're going to meet someone that you can actually have the whole emotional fulfillment with. You may already be in a loving relationship. If not, this is a loving relationship, whatever that looks like to you. It can be marriage, it can be children, it doesn't have to be, but it's emotional fulfillment. And it could be something you've been wishing and longing for a long time that comes down to manifest for you. You may have felt like the universe wasn't really giving you what you wanted, or you couldn't see the opportunities in front of you. There could have been some depression, but there is something that's going to sort of slowly build up for this. Give me more about the Four of Cups. Tower, Knight of Cups. Maybe someone in the past who didn't accept your offer or couldn't see your value or your worth suddenly has a realization that makes them come forward. Or for others of you, this just comes out of the blue. This romantic thing comes out of the blue because you're so focused on your career and your soul mission that this thing just comes really left field out of the blue. But this is a beautiful message for pile 1. Okay, anything else for pile 1? A leg up. Yeah, the universe is trying to help you at this time. It's going to offer support and help to you. You are going to get opportunities presenting themselves. Take that leap of faith. Try to leap without the fear. Breathe. You may need to connect, as I said, do some kind of meditation to balance out the chakras, to connect to the lower chakras, but also maybe the water, the emotions, things like that. So the water element and the lower chakras, so grounding and basically water and earth are good elements for you to work on. I have both meditations on my Etsy because I have 4 elements meditations, and you can pick one of them or 2 of them, but they would be very good for you. And as I said, be ready to take that leap of faith. You're poised. This is just like the Fool card, someone about to leap off in this new direction. So maybe there's a bit of a calm before the storm. If you feel like the energies are a bit stagnant in your life at this moment, it's because the universe wants you to conserve your energy, because there's going to be this new beginning coming in for you. So that's a wonderful message. I'm going to leave it there. Cleansing the energies from group 1, please, Spirit. Releasing any energies associated with group 1 so that we can have a clear message for group 2. Okay. Group 2. This is your crystal. So what is it that group 2 need to know? I'm getting an abundance message. I mean, citrine is a very good crystal for abundance and happiness. There could be some indigestion things going on here. So if you have indigestive issues with the stomach, this is also a great crystal for you to use. I am getting the stomach, the liver, the pancreas. It's kind of your battery and your store of vital energy. And it's also about your intuition, your gut instincts, things like that. I'm getting a lot of optimism and friendship. I did have a slight closing of my throat, so maybe some communication stuff going on, but not necessarily. I feel like there's a wheel of fortune here. It's almost like things changing for the better for this group of people. It feels like there's going to be victory, especially if you've had a clear vision on something. Let's have a look what the cards say. What cards should I use? Actually, I want to use my oldest. I want to use my oldest deck. Hang on a second. Sorry. Chaos. I want to use my oldest. Oh. Okay, weird. It's like, maybe it's a message. Hang on. Maybe it's very significant that I'm wanting to use this deck. Bear with me for a minute, guys. Okay, there we go. It's very significant, I think, that I'm going to use this deck because it caused such a chaos. It's my oldest deck of tarot. I've had it since I was literally 18. What is it that we need to know for group 2? 4 of Swords, 3 of Discs. Yeah, this is definitely a friendship thing in terms of working with a group of people as well. How does everything fit at the moment? It may have felt like things were stalled, but it's almost like the Wheel of Fortune in this deck, where it's like this cog that is about to move. So you may have felt like something was stalled for you, but I feel like that is about to take movement. There's going to be something sudden that happens, and this definitely involves a group dynamic, how you work in a group. You may be creative. You may also be like very attractive, very powerful, Leo energy. But there's something about this that feels almost, do you use your appearance as a way of... In this deck, she almost feels a bit chained, but she's the most attractive queen. She's the queen of rods. Often the other woman, but not necessarily. But she's sometimes like, I feel in this deck, she doesn't like being cast as this role. She's the temptress. So you may have had some dynamic where you were involved in some kind of group, whether it be a connection that had too many people or within a group of friends, where you kind of are cast in a role that you don't necessarily enjoy. Maybe because that's what people expect of you. You know, when people expect you to be a certain way, you can almost like just live up to it. I feel like there's a message here for you guys to really follow your own path and follow what makes you happy and find happiness within yourselves. I think there is some dream that's going to be coming in for you, but yeah, you may need to take time away from the group. I was getting this group dynamic, and it's almost like you find yourself and your happiness when you go inwards, when you disconnect, perhaps. And although that can be lonely, that can be part of the spiritual process. You will find your true, authentic self. Because it's almost, I just get an inauthentic vibe from her. Maybe it's why I wanted to use this deck, because she's very different in different decks. And in this deck, I get that energy for her. Group 2. 10 of Rods. There could have been something very heavy you've been carrying from the past that you want to release. What I would say for Group 2 people is there is change coming for you, okay? And I think it's change that's going to ultimately lead you to happiness, to self-fulfillment, to being more yourself, to being more authentic. There could have been a role you were cast in which was a bit deceptive. I'm thinking like other woman, other man, or people around you who maybe were deceptive, or there were hidden, in this deck especially, you see the Seven of Swords as these hidden things in a mountain. So there is more potential there than you realize. There's more there than you realize, but there could be like some kind of feeling of threatening energies, or all is not what it seems, hidden dangers, hidden doubts, hidden fears. It just feels like, were you totally yourself in whatever situation this is about? It feels like maybe you were out of alignment with your integrity, or there was always some kind of hidden doubt or fear within you that was sabotaging you, to do with how people view you superficially, or how you appear to be superficially, and whether or not that's actually your true self. Like for this group, I feel this could be reaching people who are meant to hear it, that are at the beginning of some kind of spiritual awakening where they're reconnecting to their true, authentic, higher self. And it does have to do with how you fit within groups, but ultimately you are going to be learning new skills, and you are going towards self-fulfillment, happiness, abundance, all of these things. But there's a need to kind of really face yourself in the mirror and then work on yourself. And for a lot of you, this could be around your career choice. Are you doing what brings you happiness every day? Are you working on something every day that brings you joy? For others of you, you could be undergoing some kind of process where you're doing some kind of self-discovery every day, you know, journaling, affirmations. You're working on yourself every day in a small way that gradually will lead you to this new abundance. So for a lot of you, this could be where you're planting your seeds and intentions around manifestation. But there is a need to be honest and true to yourselves. It's very interesting. Group 2, what do we need to know? Three of Swords. You could have been put in a third-party situation by somebody, and this caused a lot of conflict. There was a need to make a choice. A lot of you may be dealing with a divine counterpart, or you may see yourself as the Emperor. The Emperor is divine masculine energy. It's not gender specific. It can be to do with father issues. Some of you may be working through some childhood issues around the father figure or the patriarch in the household. Someone who is emotionally available, disconnected, just avoidant in some way emotionally. And it's like you're working through past pain in whatever way that is, especially if someone stuck you in a third party situation, because we kind of got that message before, and you had to become the Queen of Wands. It's like reconnecting to your authentic self. There's nothing wrong with the Queen of Wands. I am a Leo, so I would be the Queen of Wands. But in that deck, she almost feels like she's cast in a role of the mistress, because she can often be the mistress, that she doesn't want. I feel there's a new passionate beginning that's going to come in for you. It's like you have to re-find yourself. Yeah, there's going to be fast movement forward when that happens. There's going to be the end of a cycle and the beginning of a new cycle, and it's going to be healing. You want the Four of Swords after the Three of Swords. It's about healing. I feel this is a very specific message for this group, but if it resonates, you need to know you're going to find love, and you're going to find that happy family. You're going to be able to have the happy family that maybe you didn't have growing up. Something like that. There is going to be peace and harmony brought in, but you need to conquer your limiting beliefs and your fears. See, this person again is trapped. There's something that is keeping you a little bit trapped and stuck, and it's around things to do with romance, I think, and love. And once you find the happiness within yourself, once you can find self-fulfillment, self-satisfaction, that's when you can have it with someone else. There's a progression. 9 of Cups to the 10 of Cups. We did have something already of the 9 of Cups when I did the other deck, of your wishes, hopes, and dreams coming in. Once you prioritize yourself and what makes you happy within yourself, not thinking about what is expected of you from any group or person, that's when you can find that within your tribe in terms of your soul family or your family or a love connection. It will be different for all of you. Let's get some oracle cards for this group. Interesting, quite specific message. It may not resonate with everyone. Pick another pile if it doesn't. But my intention is that this will find the people that it's meant for. So it could be that it resonates with less people, but it's pretty specific. The end of a tough cycle approaches. So that's what you need to know. You might have really been through it. It's coming to an end. Capricorn could be important. It could be you're a Capricorn, you're dealing with a Capricorn. Capricorn and Leo energy were quite evident in the reading. And then what do you need to release? So obviously there is some release work, maybe around expectations on you, or if you've been involved in a third party situation and you know it's not healthy, releasing that so that you can have this new beginning. Ooh. Okay, and then we have you and your loved ones are safe. Confidence is your key to success. Again, Leo energy. Leo is very strongly here, and prosperity lies ahead. So I do feel prosperity in all ways, abundance, love. That is ahead of you once you can release these difficult energies. And then be confident in yourself. Know your value, know your worth. Be confident in your own skin, who you truly are within yourself, not what is expected of you. Leos are very heart-based. They rule from the heart. They lead from the heart. And then we also have Cancer's energy here. You and your loved ones are safe. This is about needing to protect yourself with this shell, while at the same time being open and emotional. But if you have been dealing with a situation that maybe involves family or things like that, you need to know that you're safe, they're safe, you're safe to love again. If you've been through a difficult time, you know, that can often be family, Cancer energy. So if you've been through a difficult childhood or something like that, you are safe to love again. You know, manifestation may be something you're interested in or that you want to think about. I do manifestation on my Etsy. I also have a playlist which has loads of free information on my YouTube. But yeah, you are doing this inner child work. Star Mother, how can you mother yourself? It's a beautiful energy, very angelic and divine. Yes, just say yes. So if you're thinking, is this reading about X situation? Yes. If you're thinking, do I need to leave this behind? Yes. Whatever you're kind of questioning in your life, especially if it's about releasing something, I think you just need to kind of say yes to that. For others of you, this is involving some kind of counterpart or divine masculine in some way, because we have this card, double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity, which I often kind of associate with deep soul connections, twin flame connections, call it what you will. But something about this is untenable and needs to kind of crumble before it can be rebuilt in a way that is more solid and stable. So even if that is the case, there is still a need to release. What are you clinging on to? Energetic upgrades, a new way of being, integration. I think the universe may be kind of, I feel this pile, you're having an awakening. Maybe you've just come across spirituality, or you're learning new things, you're seeing in a new way, especially if you resonate with a deep soul connection or twin flame thing. Maybe you've just realized what the connection is. I don't think you're like 3 years into it or something. I think this is like you're just starting to understand things, and it's just starting to dawn on you, and you're just on this spiritual process. The universe wants to co-create. It wants to help you. Again, manifestation energy. But you need to kind of be true and authentic to yourself, and also release any wounding to do with the past, to do with abandonment issues, to do with someone emotionally unavailable, things like that. And there is something of the divine masculine energy here, yang energy. Maybe it's that you need to step more into that masculine energy, or maybe you've been dealing with a masculine whose energies are a bit distorted, even though they could be a divine masculine and it's not gender specific. They're almost in a bit of a distorted phase energetically. So it's almost like, how can you just find peace within yourself in the present? Not thinking of the past or the future too much, but just the whole spiritual journey, if you are on this spiritual journey, is to learn to surrender to the present and to learn to accept what is. And not that nothing bad is ever going to happen to you, but that you can kind of just accept what is at any moment and surrender into it and find a more peaceful, easy way through the journey, which you can do through manifestation and stuff. But the first step in anything, including manifestation, is to kind of accept what is. Toxic positivity and kind of like ignoring the present moment is not going to help you manifest or get anywhere with your spiritual path. You have to be able to be present in the moment, especially if it's challenging, and just learn to surrender and accept. And then you can start to shift things. But I do think there's a strong emphasis here for this group on finding your truth, finding your integrity, finding your inner power, away from what is expected of you from people, friends, family, situations, love interests. And that's what's going to bring this more aligned love into your life. Okay, that's all I've got time for group 2. Okay, releasing the energies for group 2, please, Spirit. Cleansing this space. Releasing any energy stored from group 2 or group 1 and allowing me to connect in now to group 3. Okay. So this is group 3. Let me just do some Palo Santo. Okay, group 3. What is it we need to know about group 3? Some of you may have allergies, so chrysocolla is a great crystal for that. I also feel this group, there's something that runs through you, maybe some hidden pain or something. It's changed you, but it's made you stronger, I feel. I feel it's like marbling through your soul. It's something deep within you that has always been there. It will always be there. It will always remain. You may have felt it was a difficult thing, but it's really made you who you are. It's a bit like when a bit of grain of dirt gets in an oyster and it creates a beautiful pearl. Or, you know, when things tarnish, they can become quite beautiful. They get changed by something. I feel you've been changed by something, but it's always really been at your core, or it will always remain there. So it can be like, for example, I had a near-death experience when I was a toddler, and that has made me psychic, I think. I think that's when I really became psychic. Because I had a real experience of finding the angels, hearing the angels sing and things like that. But obviously it also caused setbacks. Dyslexia, dyspraxia, slight brain damage, but all of these things became my skills. I had to learn to talk again, but I'm so good at communication now. I write, I'm an artist. I'm able to communicate with lots of people and channel information, because even when they do brain scans on psychics, part of the temporal lobe shuts down, and that's the part that probably got damaged for me, I think. I remember them saying it was something like that. So although I got all straight A's and everything and always been very intelligent, you know, it did set me back to where I should have been. I just had a very high IQ to begin with. But the point is, this thing happened, it changed me, but it also gave me the ability to access something greater. So it's a great strength, really. I'm telling this story because I'm not saying that happened to you, but something like that, something that changed you. But it also left a touch of the divine in you or on you, even if it was just a very painful experience that cracked you open. You know, the light was able to enter you via those cracks. It's something like that. It's like kintsugi and pottery. You know, it's something that is like damaging but makes you more beautiful. I'm really getting that from this crystal and just the energies. I think there's a lot of healing and transformation for this group, and some of you may also be connecting to psychic abilities at this time. You may need to work on the root chakra, which is actually about dyslexia and anxiety. How interesting, because I have a chart in front of me and certain things pop out, and that just popped out. So maybe some of you are dyslexic. It's also very good for grounding. There's Ace of Cups, Spirit is with you. This can be about a new emotional beginning, a new offer of love. But when it came out, I heard Spirit is with you. And we have the dove going into the cup with the holy host. So this can be, of course, traditional religion, but it's just energy of spirit, unconditional love. Spirit is having a hand in your life. I'm getting a lot of channeled stuff for you guys. So maybe you're good at channeling. There, communication. Spirit communicated with you through something that happened in your life, and you have the ability maybe to also communicate with spirit. It's very, very creative. You've got 2 aces. Whatever is going on for you, there is a new beginning. A new beginning that is emotionally fulfilling, a new beginning that is creative and inspiring and passionate. You could be writers or something creative or something that involves a lot of emotion. Your job is not just to pay the bills, you know? I think you've gone through something difficult. You're overcoming this shadow phase. You're overcoming these fears. You're coming out stronger, much, much stronger. 3 of Cups. There will be celebration and pooling of resources. These are really good energies. These are really happy energies. It's like after a difficult time, you're able to get back out there, enjoy yourself, have some fun. For some of you, there could be something that you do that you communicate with groups of people. You work in some way that is collaborative or with other people in harmony, blending these energies in harmony. A lot of you are spiritual. You're on some kind of spiritual path. You may work as, a therapist, an advisor, a counselor, something like that. And also some of you may have a very strong kind of Christian link with the Hierophant because it can represent the church. Group 3. What do we need to know? The Hermit. Yeah, you're definitely going within and you're very spiritual, getting insights. There can be some fears with this, but I'm getting that you guys could be quite shamanic. You may be going through some kind of shamanic training or working with the moon cycles, working with the energies of the moon. You may be also very affected by your own cycle. If you're like a woman, you may be affected by the cycle of your periods, or you may just go through periods where you retreat from the world and you go inwards. It could be like it's a depression, but it's more like a dark night of the soul, which leads to enlightenment. You may be someone who needs time away from your friends to get these spiritual insights, but then you kind of reconnect with them again. So you're a bit of an introvert. But remember to also see your friends. This is a message like I could tell myself, because there needs to be an equal give and take in your life. You may be someone who gives a lot to others, but you need to make sure you're receiving as well. And you need to make sure you're replenishing yourself and filling your cup up if you are someone who gives a lot. Maybe some of you might want to watch group 1 as well, because we spoke about energy as money as energy and the fact that your energy is worth more than money. And it's something people need to remember as we go into a financial difficult time at the moment, that money is just something that is very common, that is printed every day, and your energy is like amazing. You can connect to the divine. So we have all these people who have the ability, because I feel people have the ability to be artists, writers, poets. Like, it's not that the person is talented, they're just able to connect into these energies. So everyone has the potential to write a best-selling book, be an amazing artist, be a very successful business person. It's just the limiting beliefs we receive growing up and our circumstances that make us think that certain things are out of reach. It's not true. And we're taught to worship worthless pieces of paper, really, that are very common and printed every day, rather than knowing that the true value we have within ourselves is capitalism. I'm not going to do a rant about it. I was going to do a rant about it, and I will at some point, where I just tell people like maybe how to manifest money, because we are about to go into this recession and the fear people will feel is going to be really bad for them. So if you are worrying about these things, please don't watch the news too much. It's fine to be informed, but remember that you have this, you have something within you that is worth more than any piece of paper. I know we all need money to live in the 3D world, but just start to kind of see it in a different way. But also you guys, this group, so maybe watch group 1 if that applies as well, but this group as well, make sure you're getting something back for the amount of energy you're putting out, especially with your friends. If you work in a way that is to do with spirituality with your clients, make sure you're giving yourself the time off as well, and you're replenishing yourself. I do feel that there is expansion for you. Some of you may be thinking about where you want to live, relocation. Anything else for group 3? Queen of Pentacles. You are going to be able to create stability for yourself. grounding for yourself. And I think we've had it in every, well, maybe not group 2, but there's a soul connection for you. And it's someone who's perfectly balanced to your energy. Again, very grounded. It could be earth sign. It's not gender specific, but it's the yin to your yang. And it's someone who's similar to you, like you are from the same suit. So you have some kind of counterpart. I knew you guys were very intuitive. You have the High Priestess. She can see, although her eyes are closed, she can see through the veil. There may be just a need for you guys to ground with all of this higher stuff going on. I think there's a need for you guys to also ground your energy. So sitting on the earth and grounding. I have a grounding meditation on my Etsy, but just connecting to the earth every day and also balancing the masculine and feminine energies within yourself. We all have masculine and feminine, whatever gender you identify with, or even if you don't identify with any gender, we all have masculine and feminine energies that need to be balanced. And this for you is to do with grounding, because I think you have the ability to be very much in the etheric realms, but you need to ground yourself practically. And then it's all about like manifestation and playful interaction with these energies. As above, so below, as within, so without. There's a need to play with the energies of the universe at this time in a way that is playful, without putting too much pressure on it. That's always the best way to manifest, especially with money. If you're feeling stressed about it, that's not a good place to manifest from. So try to do it in a playful energy. Let's get some oracle cards. Yeah, for group 3. I wanted these not to be too long. Impromptu reading. Group 3. Adjustments are required. Nothing will come of this situation. Is there a situation in your life where you're investing a lot of energy into it and you feel like you're not getting anything back? Because if that's the case, you may need to cut that out, and you'll know intuitively what that is about when that card came out. Whatever you're thinking about, that's the thing you may need to release. And that can just be that you guys have been really worried about finances, and it's to say, look, nothing's going to come of that. Don't worry about that. It could be something you're worrying about. But there is some kind of adjustment that's needed in terms of, I think, directing your energy away from things that don't serve you. Because it's almost like as you go on this spiritual path, you put out a lot of energy and lots of people are drawn to that energy. But you need to give first to yourself. The answers you need are coming. If some of you have been wanting some kind of communication, or you feel like you've been waiting for a sign from spirit, or spirit is not communicating with you as much as it usually does, it feels a bit closed off. Could be because you're meant to learn something through the silence, but at some point you will receive the answers, maybe in this reading, maybe in a dream, maybe someone will actually speak to you. But it's almost like you're being asked to look at the bigger picture through whatever difficulty you guys are having. It's for a higher purpose to teach you something. So look at the bigger picture. As I said, right at the beginning, something bad can happen, but the bigger picture is there's a huge gift in it. Soul family. Call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. That involves not just partners, but friendship groups. You will call in the right clients to you that align to you, the right collaborators that align to you. If you had a difficult upbringing, you can have like a soul family rather than your genetic family. It's about your people. Break the chain, ancestral patterns, healing, rewriting the future, especially if you had some kind of difficulty in the ancestral line at some point. It's like you have the ability to rewrite the future. That's a manifestation thing. That's revision. You may want to look at revision, but I feel a lot of you are light workers, but also are dealing with karmic stuff, ancestral stuff, akashic stuff. So if you've had an akashic reset from me, if you're a client, maybe listen to that. Maybe if not, think about getting an akashic reset. But there's something maybe in the past, some kind of past trauma even, that still affects you in your line somewhere. So as you heal yourself, you heal all of those lines. Yes. Whatever you were thinking about in relation to what I'm saying, yes, that is the thing. That is the thing you need to release. That is the trauma you're dealing with. Or there's a big yes energy to some kind of question you've been maybe asking yourself, asking the universe for answers around. Again, we have these 3 women, but it feels supportive. So maybe there's some kind of supportive group you're going to be working with. How can you mother yourself? I think group 2 had similar cards. This could be something ancestral. There could be some inner child healing that needs to be done. And it's about learning to sit with the discomfort. The spiritual journey is not that nothing bad happens to you again. It's learning to sit with the discomfort and surrender into it. Meditation, you know, breathing your way through it and just being okay with what is. That is the spiritual journey. But you are getting ready to be taking a leap of faith in a new direction. There is going to be a new pathway that opens up to you, and no place like home. This can be within a connection with someone. It can also be, what does home mean to you? If home was difficult, maybe choosing people that don't feel like home, because although it feels like home, is that a healthy thing? You'll know what it means for you. For me, no place like home is like, I remember what the sound of angels singing was like. I know the feeling that I got of unconditional love. At that age, I had that near-death experience. And I felt it in other people and situations through my life when spirit is present, or when I met my counterpart. And I recognize that divine love. But I also know I have to find it within myself. And I have experienced that too. So it's about finding that, you know, feeling of like, I'm coming home to yourself. It's a beautiful thing. And for another message, just to kind of close this down, is maybe getting in touch with your body, doing some stretching, doing some yoga, moving the energies through your body. If you are going through a difficult time, it's like riding the wave through your body, through movement. Do I want to get another card for you guys? Yeah, I want to use this deck. Let's hope it doesn't cause the phone, group 2, it caused the phone to fall. 4 of discs. Yeah, there is some past disappointment or fear you need to release. Definitely with the 10 of Wands then as well. Releasing past fears, releasing past something. But you do that through just surrendering to what is in the present. And that's how you find this feeling of bliss within yourself, internal happiness. Maybe it was just a message for how else you guys can do this. And it's almost just releasing through sitting with it. What you're feeling, you're healing. And then really thinking about where you want to focus your energy, the higher purpose of your life, the higher mission you have, and not being distracted by like the energies of watching the news and worrying, or the energies of smaller things in your life that feel like they're a big deal, but it's not. It's distracting you from your main mission or your main purpose. So redirecting your energy. Energy is a resource. Redirect it towards where you want to go, and then be patient and plant the seeds of intention, and it will start to sort of shift and manifest and come into being for you. All right, guys, not sure when I'll be back, but subscribe to the channel for free content. Sometimes I go live. I just do readings when I'm called to do them. But yeah, if you want a personal reading, get a personal reading. Sending you guys much love, light, and positivity. Take care.